Hi, how are you everybody today? My name is Jeff Schottlander. I'm with Swann Communications. We're here today to talk about security for your home and your business. When you're deciding on the camera you want to choose, there's a couple of factors that you weigh in on your decision. One, is the camera going inside or outside? This is outside, this is inside. This has O-ring gaskets, it's weather resistant. This one here has, there's openings and there's little connectors and there's a lens on it and different things. This one goes inside because it is not weather tight. In the wireless category, there's a few different types. This one here is a Nighthawk. This is an outdoor camera. It transmits back to a receiver. The receiver connects through an audio video out and connects to your television. Now, the wireless is nice. Has its pros and cons. Okay, the pros is easy to install. It just mounts outside. It does require power though. It has a range issue. At full power, they're rated at about 300 feet. That's on the beach on a clear day with the wind at your back. The truth is they don't function at 300 feet because every time you go through a wall or a structure, and every house is different, your distance diminishes. So an average home is 50 feet wide. You can only have 4 of these in any given area. So the signal that this one accepts is not a proprietary signal. So the camera, when it transmits to this receiver, can transmit on channels either 1, 2, 3, or 4. You cannot put 5. So 4 cameras per environment. Per environment can also mean your neighbor's environment. Okay, this is the indoor camera. Now this is great because it has a varifocal lens on it. Now varifocal lens means that you don't know exactly what you're looking at or how you want to see it. So what you do is, because it has a varifocal lens, you mount it on the wall and you can see this or you can see this. Now there's 2 different chipsets. You have CCD, which is a higher quality, and you have CMOS, which is a little bit less expensive, lower quality. It all depends how much you want to see and what your clarity is. What we have now is we have the DVR, which stands for Digital Video Recorder. So this has a 160 gig hard drive. That's a standard hard drive, nothing fancy. You can pick up these hard drives anywhere you like. We use a Seagate hard drive. The hard drive has a 5-year warranty on it. You now record by images per second and compression quality. For example, if you want to record someone handling cash at a business, then you want to record at a frame rate that's high enough to be what we call real time, which is in the range of about, let's say, a minimum 20 to 30 frames per second. Then you have a video compression quality, a good, better, best. Say we record at normal, and we record 1 image per second on a 120 gig hard drive. You are going to get 2,330 hours of recording on the hard drive. You can set them up to record on motion. The motion is not a function of the camera. The motion is a function of the DVR. It works on pixels. When it sees the pixels change, it recognizes there's something going on and then it starts recording. The DVRs come in different formats. They come in 4, 8, and 16 channels. Channels equals cameras. The only other thing you want to look at when you look at the DVR now is if you want to see it over the internet. If you had like an Ethernet output here on the blue wire, you could connect this up to your internet, and then from remote locations you could dial in and watch it. There's different types of them. There's triplex and pentaplex and different things, what you can and can't do. Like for example, this one here, when you want to stop it to rewind today, you have to stop it and then you rewind it and watch. There's a model that they call a triplex, which means more commonly used in businesses because it means that it's still recording the store's activity, but now the manager can come in at 1 o'clock and then he can go in and look at the morning shift to see at what time they open the store while he's still recording everything that's happening in the store. And then the pentaplex function is when you can do all that remotely. The only other function you want to look at with the cameras is if it is outside, then you want to say now, how far do I want to see in the dark? So as you can see, this camera here has a little ring of LEDs. I think there's about 9 little LEDs in here. We have other cameras down there with 2 rings of LEDs and 3 and 4 rings of LEDs to see further. General rule of thumb is 1 foot for every LED. Now here's another little product here which is kind of neat. It's called the Digital Private Eye. This is actually a camera lens in here. Okay. And there's an SD card which goes in here, goes in the side. And when you walk in front of this, the motion detector sees the motion and it starts recording the snapshots to the SD card. And using a 1 gig SD memory card, it can take up to 30,000 images. This is the flashlight DVR. So take the dog for a walk, take your flashlight with you, right? So you're walking down the street with your flashlight. Right? That guy jumps out of the bushes. Whoo, who are you? Right? And he runs. You know? Well, basically, as soon as you go, whoo, who are you? You just recorded his face. Because this is the camera. Down in the bottom, in here, is where you put the SD card. And everything the flashlight sees, it's recording. It has 3 illuminations, low, medium, high. And the buttons on the front, you can take either a snapshot or you can take a video. You can get 1.5 hours of recording on a 1 gig SD card. So putting a 2 gig card in here, which is the maximum, 2 gig card's maximum, you can get 3 hours. It also has 128 internal megabyte memory, which captures, about, I don't know, 20, 30 different pictures. And you can actually get the pictures off the camera using a USB cable. The little tiny one at the top is a little square camera. It's about the size of about this big. It's an indoor camera. The next one down is a Bulldog camera. That has actually been one of our best sellers for years and years and years. It is a very robust camera with a metal housing. The illuminators are actually quite bright. They're actually quite big LEDs that can see up to about 33 feet in the dark. Then you've got the Maxi day-night camera. The same functions of the lens and the CCD higher quality sensor. The difference being that now there's more LEDs. There's a second ring of circle of LEDs. So it can see further in the dark. You can see all these products as well on jr.com.